Hey guys, my name is Jonathan Henderson with Pressure Washing Marketing Pros. In today's video, I want to go ahead and talk about why you need to stop turning your advertising off to save money. Because I know there's going to be somebody in the comments that's going to say something like, Jonathan, I turned off my advertising because I didn't get an ROI, I wasn't making any money from it. And I understand that. There's going to be campaigns that you have, that you've ran, that you simply need to turn off because it's just simply bad advertising. The guys that I'm mostly speaking to right now that need to stop turning off their advertising in order to save money are the guys that say the following: I don't have enough help, I can't answer the phone, I can't close the leads, I'm not reaching my target customer, I don't have enough time, and I have enough referrals and word of mouth. Because the most successful companies that I know, they don't ever turn off their advertising, right? Especially in order to save money. Because the quote by the great Henry Ford says, stopping advertising to save money is the equivalent of stopping your watch to save time. Now I'm gonna run that back, guys. Henry Ford, look this up on Google search. Stopping advertising to save money is like stopping your watch to save time. And essentially what that quote means is it does not make sense. Just because I stopped the time on my watch does not mean that time isn't still going. And just because I stopped my advertising, doesn't mean that I'm actually saving money in the long run. Because I'm gonna give you 3 major reasons in this video as to why that's gonna be detrimental in the long run when you turn off your advertising. Especially for reasons such as, I don't have enough help. When guys tell me that they don't have enough help, and they turn off the advertising to save money because, Jonathan, I don't want to market to customers if I can't fulfill the job, Jonathan. Well, what they really mean is, Jonathan, I don't have the processes and systems in my business to go ahead and predictably scale a hiring process where I can hire guys when I need them to execute the jobs and to answer the phone. Because it's the same thing when they say they can't answer the phone. They don't have a system and process in place to where in their business to where they can hire somebody to go ahead and answer the phone. It's not to save money, because you're not going to save money, because you're not going to grow in order to go ahead and get the talent that you have to get in order to fulfill those jobs. Because you're always going to go through an uncomfortable period whenever you're going to grow your business. It's like working out at the gym. A lot of guys, when things get hard, when they can't close the leads because they don't have enough time, when they don't have enough help, when they say I don't have enough time, it's like if you were to go to the gym and you were gonna go lift weights, and as soon as you were about to get to failure, or as soon as you start to feel your muscles hurt a little bit because you're actually pushing yourself, you drop the weight. Do you ever grow your muscles if every time you went in the gym and as soon as you felt something, you dropped the weight and you stopped? You wouldn't grow, right? So when I hear guys say they don't have enough help, like I said, to me that sounds like they don't have a sales system, or they don't have the system in place to hire guys. When they say they can't close leads, for example, and they're turning it off to save money because, Jonathan, I can't close these leads, so we need to go ahead and turn it off to save money. No, because what ends up happening if you turn off your advertising to quote unquote save money because you can't close the leads that Google ads is bringing you, that Facebook ads is bringing you, that direct mail is bringing you, or any other facet of marketing is bringing you, that's an internal problem. That's an issue. You have to look at yourself and say, all right, if I can't close these leads at that point, how am I going to go ahead and grow? And you're going to need more money in order to hire that help. You're also going to need the data, which I'm going to talk about one of the biggest 3 reasons. When guys tell me they have enough referrals and word of mouth, that's also another thing that I say. I say there's never enough referrals and word of mouth, because that's another point I will get to later on, is that there's going to be companies out there that are going to advertise, and year by year if you're not advertising, people are going to start taking your customers, taking your word of mouth, right? There's going to be new businesses that are going to pop up that are going to take your customers, which I will talk about in a minute. But what I want to talk about right now is that why do companies like McDonald's, Apple, Amazon, Starbucks, why do they go ahead and market their business? What makes your business any different than theirs? Their businesses are worth billions of dollars and they still advertise. Why do big companies like this still advertise, right? Because, like I said, they're worth $1 billion. So technically, they don't necessarily need to advertise anymore per se, but there's something that they know that the guys who turn off their advertising to save money don't know. And so the first one's going to be these bigger companies like Starbucks, Apple, Amazon, McDonald's. What they know is this: the lifetime value of a customer. Now I'm going to relate this to the exterior cleaning business, right? So let's say, for example, you're running a gutter cleaning campaign. Guys will always tell me, Jonathan, gutter cleaning isn't that profitable, Jonathan. I don't want to run gutter cleaning. I don't want to target people that do gutter cleaning. But they're not looking at the longer scope of the picture, right? They may say, Jonathan, I'm paying too much if I'm paying $50 per gutter cleaning lead. But what they don't actually understand is that if that person actually does gutter cleaning, right? If they actually clean the gutters of their home, they'd probably be interested in cleaning their deck. They'd probably be interested in cleaning their home or the exterior of their home. They'd probably be interested in cleaning their roof as well. So you may initially have attracted that customer for gutter cleaning, but that customer might be a customer for the next 5 to 7 years. And you might be able to extract as much value from them as possible over the course of those 5 years. Because as an exterior cleaning business, you can go ahead and have customers, 3 to 4 times, or you can go out to a single customer 3 to 4 times a year. In the springtime, you can wash their home. In the summertime, you can clean their roof. In the fall time, you can clean their gutters. And in the wintertime, you can install their Christmas lights. You can do snow removal. You can do any of those different services. So by you capturing one customer, look at the lifetime value of that customer. That customer may end up being a customer for the next 5 to 7 years in that sense, right? So if that customer is going to be a customer for the next 5 to 7 years, you already made your ROI. Yeah, you probably didn't make that big of an amplifier of an ROI when you initially got that customer, but over the long run, you would have easily made your ROI and then some, because guess what? That person, that lifetime value of that customer, are you even recording if they were to refer you to somebody else? A lot of businesses don't even record that. So that one customer that you thought was expensive, quote unquote, for that lead, and it was for a cheap job like a driveway cleaning or a gutter cleaning, you don't understand that that person, if you did a good job, they could refer you to a person that has a, that could be your next $1,500 house wash. So learn and understand the lifetime value of a customer. Because for example, companies like Starbucks, when they first acquire a customer, they actually lose money. Whenever they acquire a customer, for the cost of what they advertise, and when they first get a new customer, for example, if everybody were to go to Starbucks only one time and they did not repeat or they did not come back, then at that point, Starbucks will go out of business. But they understand the lifetime value of a customer. So when they first acquire a customer, they may lose money, but on average, and you can look this up, on average, Starbucks, their average customer stays with them for 3 to 5 years consistently. And they have a good loyalty program where they give you free gifts, free gift cards, free cups, because they understand loyalty. So if they keep you going back there consistently, like you always hear it on social media, if Starbucks can have you going 1 time a month to 4 times a month, they're easily making the ROI over a course of 4 to 5 years. And that's what you guys have to think about too. You guys have to think like these billion-dollar companies as well. So understand the lifetime value of a customer, because it's going to bring me my second point, which is these billion-dollar companies understand market share. When you don't advertise, you lose your market share. And what do I mean by you lose your market share? So number one, how do you lose your market share? If you stop your advertising, your competitor is going to be advertising, right? So not only are they going to have brand awareness and people are going to be more aware of them, but they're also going to get more of your potential customers that you could have gotten as well, right? So if you stop advertising, you're allowing your competition to get those new customers. For example, I always look at Google Ads. And people will say, Jonathan, I'm going to turn off Google Ads because I'm getting too many leads right now and we're not closing them, so we need to save a little bit of money. We're doing really good with the Google Ads, Jonathan. But I always tell them, I said, look, those same Google Ads that you're getting right now, your competitor's getting too. So it's not that you aren't reaching your target customer. These aren't the type of customers you want to go ahead and reach, because the bigger companies that are going ahead and thriving, that are still running Google Ads, they're the same customers that you'd be getting as well. So not only when you stop your advertising, not only are you losing that brand awareness, but you're losing out on those new customers because you're not advertising anymore at all. So now they're taking more of that market share. While you're sitting on the sidelines, sitting there not advertising, they're taking more of those new customers. And guess what? When they take more of those new customers, that's more word of mouth that you're losing out on too. Because a lot of guys just see it, oh, I lost out on those particular customers. No, those other customers could have been people that potentially referred you to other customers in that sense. So not only are you losing out on one customer, you could be losing out, for every one customer, you could really be losing out on 3. So that's actually money that you're losing in the long term. You got to think about that. And that's market share value. Because what people don't also consider is that everybody loses customers, right? There's some customers that we may keep for the duration and the lifetime of our business. But there's customers that are not gonna use you every single year. So if you stop advertising, your competitions, if they're advertising and being aggressive with it, they might advertise a door hanger, they might advertise a postcard, or there may be new businesses that offer cheaper prices than you do that are poaching your existing client base. So when I hear guys say, well, I already have good referrals and word of mouth, no you don't, because over time that will dwindle. That will dwindle because those other companies, those new companies, those existing companies that have not stopped their advertising, like I said, they're gonna take your customers as well. So when it comes to market share, how your market share dwindles is, number 1, you lose your brand awareness. Number 2, those potential new customers that both companies could have gotten, right? That you and your competition could have gotten, your competition's getting that instead of you because you're not advertising. And number 3, your existing customers that you may have, if you stop advertising, if you stop engaging with your existing customers, your competition's gonna do it, and your competition's gonna poach your existing customers from you. So that's why it's super imperative that you guys always advertise. Because, like I said, what's gonna end up happening? Once you lose that market share, where do you end right back up at? Man, I need to advertise again. That's simply where you end up at. Once you lose that market share, you end up in the same position where you first started when you were trying to save quote unquote money. Because now you realize, dang, I'm not making as much money as I thought I was, or how much I really want to make now. So now I need to advertise again to go ahead and recapture my existing customers and the potential, brand new customers that are out there as well. So you just end up in the same spot. So like I said, market share. Those billion-dollar companies know about market share. Now my third point is going to be they understand the data, right? They understand the data. And what do I mean by that? The data is the most important thing that you can also get from your marketing. For example, like shout out to Dave Carroll over at Dope Marketing. He's always said when he's advertised, he looks in his CRM and he looks at the top 5 zip codes that he's worked in, and that's where he advertises the most. Because his advertising is most effective when he does direct mail and he does Facebook ads. He doesn't just run Facebook ads to anybody. He doesn't just do direct mail to anybody. He has past data of his marketing campaign results, and he has past data of where he's worked at in his CRM, to where if he goes to those top 5 zip codes, at that point he knows his marketing is going to be the most effective in those areas, and it's going to be amplified in those areas. So he has a strategy behind the marketing that he's doing to make it even more lethal. And that's what you guys could be doing as well. Because whenever you have that data, you're equipped to be prepared to make decisions, right? You're being proactive, not reactive. Because I tell a lot of guys, they'll say, Jonathan, I'm gonna turn off my marketing for the next 2 to 3 months, because it might be their second year in business. And they may not know how truly demand is throughout the entire year. So I always tell businesses, especially if you're new, run your marketing throughout the entire year, even if you think it's not going to be quote unquote profitable, because you're going to get the data. So for example, we know that in the summertime, things slow down in most areas in the United States when it comes to exterior cleaning services, right? We know that in the summer, like June, July time, especially July, August time frame, things slow down a little bit. Now, there's gonna be some guys that say, Jonathan, I'm always busy. Okay, that's cool. But I'm saying on average, in July and August, things tend to slow down in most areas. Not all, but like in Florida, in the summertime, you know that in Florida in the summertime, things are super slow. We know in Florida, the busy season is going to be from September, basically to February, right? February, March kind of time frame. That's like the super busy season, especially in the fall and, winter time with that kind of stuff. Just from what I've seen, and we have a lot of clients in Florida. And so if you never ran advertising throughout the entire year, you may go to a Facebook group and be like, guys, in the summer I should be killing it like that. Because you don't know, you haven't advertised throughout the entire duration of the year, so you may not be equipped to have the data to know that, hey, in the summertime, I know things are gonna get slow. Therefore, I can anticipate this. I can be proactive instead of reactive to it. So I know I may need to be a little bit more aggressive a month or two before the slow season. So I can book up those slow seasons and continue to turn on and not get so worried and not wonder and be flustered. And so that's what you guys want to go ahead and do, because that data allows for you to do that. Also, when you have data, you can go ahead and refine your sales process. You can refine your customer acquisition process. You can refine your marketing so that your targeting gets better, so that your messaging gets better and it resonates with your customer more. And your sales process, you may refine some steps on that just because of the data that you have from your marketing, where you say, this doesn't work, but I know this does. So in turn, you actually do save money by running your advertising more. But when you shut it off, you're shutting off that data. So every year you're starting from ground zero every single time. You're starting from ground zero every single time. That's why those bigger companies, you may ask, well, they have the marketing budget. No, they don't have the marketing budget. They have the balls to run throughout the entire year because they were getting the data that they needed in order to go ahead and market efficiently and effectively. And that's what you guys have to do as well. Because I'm going to conclude it with this. Most of the problems that you have with advertising and you not having enough help, you not being able to answer the phone, you not being able to close the leads, you not reaching your potential customer, you not having enough time, you thinking that you have enough referrals and word of mouth, those are internal business issues. Those are internal business issues. We as business owners, sometimes, like I said, it can be hard to go ahead and blame ourselves, right? We want, just as humans in general, we want to go ahead and deflect the blame. Oh, it was that agency. Oh, it's the economy. We want to say that, but sometimes we have to look ourselves in the mirror and say, you know what? This is my fault. This is my fault. We need to fix a system within our business in order to make our advertising more effective. So yes, guys, like I said, the reason why you don't want to stop your advertising or quote unquote save money is because you need to understand the lifetime value of your customer. You need to understand market share. You need to understand data as well. And that's how those top businesses grow. And that's why businesses such as McDonald's, Amazon, Starbucks, and Apple, that's why they still advertise, because they understand this. If McDonald's just stopped advertising and doing all of that, who knows if another business, another burger joint could come up and steal their market share. Not saying that they would go out of business, not saying, but they may not be as dominant as they were before. And so they understand they want to keep their dominance. They want to keep their market share. They understand that if somebody goes to McDonald's once, they're probably going to go multiple times again. That's why they're going to advertise like that. So that's what you guys have to understand. Take those principles from those billion-dollar companies, and I'll say the Henry Ford message once again. Stopping advertising to save money is like stopping your watch to save time. Stop doing that, guys. Even Henry Ford, one of the greatest American hustlers we've had in the last 100, 200 years, one of the biggest companies, American-born, Ford, they understand that principle. So if you guys need help with your marketing, if this really resonated with you, please like the video, please leave a comment. But like I said, if you guys need any help with your marketing, visit in the comments or the description of this video or podcast. Visit the description and it's going to say, free strategy session. You can click that link and submit your information for a free strategy session with us so we can break down your online presence so that we can start getting you guys some leads and pinpoint some weaknesses that you guys may have. Look at what your competition is doing and such. So other than that though, hope you guys enjoyed this video. I actually enjoyed speaking on this video. I'm very passionate about this subject. But other than that though, you guys have a nice day. I'll see you in the next video.